Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, it's showtime. Hi, here's Lenslock, and we're going to take up right where we left off. I have had my dinner. Another player. A couple more players. Let's check and see what we've got in the way of crafting materials. Hey, Snoopy. Welcome back. Thank you. Good evening to you as well. Health. I definitely could use more health. New update. So far, so good. I've only gone back in time once. Second time it popped up, I had to go back to town, and when I returned, it was gone because maps reload when you do that. A tough fight. I have died twice. I died first to one of the captive mages who was very bad and in a very narrow place, so I didn't really have room to work, and he killed me. And the second time was we ran into a champion who literally one-shot it. He did 318 damage. I had 300 health. But now I have 125 ward, which should be a significant improvement in my survivability. Plus, I am now a warlock. So I've got that going for me. All right. Lots of little quality of life improvements. The new pet settings is a good thing. Let's see. Let's move that around. Go that there. That there. Still using Spirit Plague? I am. Okay. We'll bring out our big boy. I'm level 17, I think. I am warlocking it. I was tempted to go with Void Knight Spin to Win Warpath, because historically I really enjoy the Spin to Win archetypes. But the last couple of League starters I did Void Knight, so I didn't want to do Void Knight again. Previously I did the Void Knight Auto Bomber build, and that was quite good both leagues. Can recommend. Don't know if you've got something in particular you have in mind for playing. But I was feeling relatively weak early on. Wasn't doing a lot of damage. I'm doing significantly better now between an upgrade in on the Rip Blood and now the Chthonic Rift. Things are going much better. Think you're going to try to play Shaman? I got a really good early Shaman drop. I mean, that was the only not from my class thing I've kept so far. Well, that and uniques. It had plus 20% minion damage and plus 1 to maximum companions. So if you were going to do a shaman build, that would be really good. A shaman pet build, I should say. What we got over here? Oh, I should probably change one of those, shouldn't I? Yes, I should. Oops. All right, this is going to be interesting as we have a nemesis fight coming up. And the first 2 times I fought this nemesis, it's a tough fight. Let's see. Let's yank the bone curse, I think. And change that for Chthonic Fissure. And I will take just a second to check and see where my Chthonic Fissure point should be going. It's just such a fun spell. All right. We head west. Mana cost reduced. And spirit release chance increased. Oh, 4. And then the spirits hits inflict enemies with damned. Yes, please. And then Fellfire. Spread your ignites. All right, and here we go. So let's see. Fire damage and minion fire damage, pretty good. Ooh, we got our first Exalted. Level 5 increased lightning damage. I don't know if there's any lightning damage melee classes at low level. And then over here, Kestrel with 1 LP. All right, here we go. We could fail this. I don't like being negative, but we could fail it. Wow. Yeah, this constrained play space is really bad. And that was what killed me. My first death came from fighting one of the exiled mages in a very constrained play space. Really, really dislike the constrained play spaces. For these sort of boss mob type things, they are not friendly at all. Well, we got the goodies. Also, for the record, that sucked. Thank you. It is doing some fire damage. For a second there, I thought you might be getting a little greedy. That certainly was. What I said the last time I fought him is I should have fought him then rather than buffing him a second time. So you are entirely freaking correct. I should have simply fought him after the first empowerment. The second empowerment was just asking for trouble. So I got lucky. But that fight in that constrained spaces on that guy throwing out big, huge, extremely hard hitting freeze attacks. Not fun. Cannot recommend. How you doing, Sanical?
The cultists had a philosophy.
It's important to have a
Light
philosophy.
transcends reality, and by embracing it, so could they.
Look, the guy's got extra arms to work with. Seems perfectly
This
practical to
world is
me.
gone. If they devoted themselves to despair, would it welcome them?
Turns out, no.
Desperate, worthless in the end.
They all got et. Doing well, debating playing some Latro, or maybe looking for a novel to read. What sort of novels do you like to read? Because I am full of many things and opinions on books. Would be one of them. Given that you play Latro, I might assume fantasy would be in play. All right, the next nemesis. Tolmat's Incorrect History of Eterra. Minion skills, melee damage, minion spells, minion movement, Ellie resist. Ellie resist makes this worthwhile. Is it worth trying to jack up the power? The boots aren't bad. I'm going to try to empower once. If this is a tough fight, I won't empower a second time. This is the blood boss. Not as bad as the ice boss, I don't think. No, he's not too bad. I think I can take the chance to empower him a second time. Now, my favorite book of all time is, not too surprising, it's The Lord of the Rings. Fan of traditional fantasy, sci-fi, and recent been hopping between various translations of Asian wuxia, Zansha. I'm not familiar with the second. I am familiar with wuxia. If you have not read it, the obviously the book I've read the most is The Lord of the Rings, but the book I've read the second most is The Black Company by Glenn Cook. The first three books are masterpieces of more contemporary approach, more realistic approach to fantasy. The rest of the books in the series are good. They're just nowhere near as good as those first three, which are chef's kiss. Sort of, it was the creation of what is sometimes called low fantasy, where Lord of the Rings is high fantasy. Your good guys are good, your bad guys are bad. You've got your dragons, you got your elves and dwarves, all that kind of traditional stuff. Ah, but you have read it. Then you know whereof I speak. Those two stand apart from all the rest of the fantasy I've read. They're very different, obviously. I mean, immensely different books. Overburdened loot lizard, gotta go. So for me, those are kind of my go-tos for comfort reading. Pyromancy. Sure, I'll just start throwing fireballs around like it ain't no big thing. Does it wear off when we go into the next map? I don't recall. It did. Let's see, in other fantasy stuff, a lot of the old stuff doesn't get read anymore. So things like Fritz Leiber's Fafford and the Grey Mouser, the Eternal Champion stuff by Michael Moorcock. Maybe time to reread some of the early Dresden. I've never read the Dresden, but I have read the slightly similar sort of themed. Glenn Cook also has a series about a fantasy detective, not in the real world, but in a fantasy world. Basically, it's got a little bit of the Black Company in it, and also a good amount of like Raymond Chandler. They are lighter entertainment, generally speaking. Yep, the Garrett Files is correct. Clearly, you are a man of taste and distinction. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I'm pretty sure you're a man of taste and distinction, but you might be a woman of taste and distinction. Regardless, taste and distinction. You are a human, presumably, of taste and distinction. Or possibly an advanced AI of taste and distinction. Ding 19. I believe it was 5 points in Soul Stealer to give me the benefit. Oh, and Chaos Bolts is open. I believe we lose Rip Blood for Chaos Bolts. Definitely a man. Okay. I will promptly forget that. It's just my brains. Chaos Bolts. And what would we like to do with our Chaos Bolts? We want to respec there. And go with the old Chaos Bolts. Now, in Chaos Bolts, I have 4 points. All 4 to the northwest. Ah, yeah. Ignites and then damned. Regardless, your taste and distinction is a thing. I wish to learn. Grabbing dinner. I ate. I had my foods. Carnitas burritos. A couple of small ones. Actually, the tortillas are small enough. It wasn't even a burrito. It was a soft taco in essence.
That is too much.
Really? Another point in the chthonic. Where were we going? I don't recall. check that now. This is Spirit Plague, Bone Curse, Chthonic, West. From 2 points in there, right there and then there. Dude, I've got you set to guard, not assassinate. You should be leading the way for me. It's so hard to get good help. Oh, I probably hurt his feelings. Definitely feeling a lot better about where the build is now than where it was a while ago. Not just because of 2 deaths, but I'm actually doing damage now. I hear good things about doing damage in a game like this, so I'm okay with that. We have got a boss mob, a champion. They are tough. I died once to a champion already. He one-shotted me, which I consider to have been cheating. It's the same one who killed me previously. Why are there all of these stupid prophets about all of a sudden? Don't they know there is no profit in it? No. Oh, that's the effect of the shrine. Mage helmet? Do I look like a mage? Come on. I'm way too cool for that. I don't remember where we go next. So I must check the passive tree. Okay, it was up there. 5 and 5, and then 2. Okay. Oh, Spiteful Decay, right? Yes, it was. Okay, good. The cultist camp. Well, cultists. I'm sure they're just a nice group of the faithful who enjoy party activities.
Farewell.
And such. Let's grab this quest first, and then we will sell stuff. Well, we'll see if there's anything we want to keep. All right, want to keep that. Oh my god, what a freak cluster bleep. All right, where's the dude I can sell to? Sell all of the stuff we know we can't use. Minion health. Mana reduced health cost of spells. If I was doing anything that cost health. That would be nice. I am currently not. I was previously, but I currently am not. Int, Vit, Armor, and Fire. Increased fire damage, I think, means this one's going to get kept for a while. Gloves, cast speed. A little armor, a little health. Sure, why not? Damage over time, critical strike chance, health on kill. That's a maybe. Fire damage, elemental damage, base spell damage. We're currently 412 on the Chthonic Fissure. Less. That's listed as, we don't even get an estimate as to what damage that's doing. I guess because it varies so much. That's necrotic, so that wouldn't fit for elemental, so I'm guessing then that this just isn't enough of the good stuff. And we need the good stuff, you know? I think I will try throwing the the affix filling item on that one. So we want to keep these.
Impossible.
And we're going to use one of the runes of discovery to add 4 tier 1 affixes. Because currently, oh, let's see. Less spell void damage. Slightly more damage over time. Cast speed is the only one that's really good on that, but spell damage, mana and mana regen, chance to shock, and chance to chill. I think that's probably an improvement. So 412. 404. Cast speed is good. The mana and mana regen probably makes that one worth it. All right. Another player. Another player. And in we go to the ruins of Welrun. It's kind of a crappy place, so I'd say it's not very well run.
I thought this would be satisfying.
Oh, it's
but I feel
just a joke.
nothing.
Funny
No matter.
joke, but joke nonetheless. All right, we need to kill a bunch of wandering mobs on this map. That's one of them. Did we kill it? We did not. Not with another one of the Void Prophets.
Will not take me.
Quite a bunch of jerks. Are we going to 5 there? Give me a second. I'll find out. Sonic. Chaos Bolts. 5 and then upper right. So we are going to 5 there. But not on damned yet. Right, there's the two wandering mobs. We killed one of them already. I wish to learn. I tell you, his desire to learn, it's just infectious. Okay, apparently my friend had died. He's my bestest buddy. He's a bone golem, but I like to think of him as my own golem. We have a nemesis coming up. And there's the thing we need. Whoop! Get out, get out. I have to say, my biggest issue has been so far has been getting into fights in movement-constrained locations. We just got damned waters. Next up is... Ooh. Stygian Current. When we next get to a safe place, we'll add our next skill. Oops. Added necrotic resistance onto the unique to make it a legendary. Added a dodge rating onto the boots. I don't think we need to empower it further. We'll just go ahead and challenge right now. All right. He killed my dude. It hurts my feelings when they kill my golem. Huh? He's my friend. We have one more Void Horror to get. He's all the way down there. Really not being that far away. He enjoys his work, which is always, you're nice to see someone who actually really enjoys their work. And there is the last thing I need to kill, and it's pathing this way, so get out ahead of it. As here, it Quest completed. Ooh. Bracing. Still not doing overwhelming damage. And come on, that's why you play RPGs, is to blast. Certainly was feeling a little weak for a while there. Especially when that guy one-shot me. For all of my 300 hit points. All right, the well-run Undercity awaits. I got another point here. I believe we were going up here. Yeah. Up for 1 and then down for 2. Cast speed and projectile speed makes perfect sense. Probably Profane Veil we don't have access to. Spirit Plague or Bone Curse? Feels like more damage might be a good choice. Let's go with Spirit Plague. Which probably means it's the wrong choice, but hey, we're going with it anyway. First 4 points in Spirit Plague are southwest, west, southwest, and southeast. That slows mobs. That inflicts frailty on them. And that is spell necrotic damage per intelligence. And then this is increased global damage over time. Over here, more spiteful delay. And how about a quick check to see if there's anything else here? Minion skills, but the necrotic resistance is good. You summon a historic minion from a random era of Iterra. The elemental resist makes this worthwhile, I think, just by itself. We give up some int. Oh, the ward per second, though, is big. All right, that we don't need. That we don't need. I'm going to want to keep that and that. 14 spell damage, cast speed. Pardon me as I quickly scan through. Int minion health and health regen. Cast speed. Minion, fizz, and fizz resist. Big cast speed. We'll stick with that, I think, for now, because we're not sure how good it is. Int Spirit Plague. Okay, well, another. Oh, we give up the fire damage. I think we want to keep that, but I don't think we want to use it. That's a lot of int from boots. Those are some really smart shoes. Armor, lightning resist, and dodge. But really smart shoes. Right. Big Dead Daddy needs to talk to us. We now have a pet with us. He's handsome. He comes from the ancients of time. The distant past of the world. Looks like a big mud puppy? Mud skipper? We've got another nemesis. Hell Reach. Increase minion health, rip blood. Vial of All Lies was something I was looking at. We're going to go ahead and give this an Empower shot. What the heck, right? Am I right? I'm right. God, his charge is bad news. Damage is definitely in a much better place. And elemental resists is going to be a nice buff. We gave up a little bit of damage, I think, but
Your death has come.
I need to start doing more of the debuff on them. I think that would serve me well. That's two of the phylacteries down. Just the phylacteries. So I don't know if it healed or if it resummoned when he died, but the pet we got from the unique went from low health to full health. I just didn't notice whether he had fast regen or was resummoned. Well, speaking of resummoning, I'll go ahead and resummon my chunky boy.
If I could, a twill now. I recommend you stand back, tearing the phylactery from my body. Will prove volatile.
Back to the cultist camp.
Greetings. Farewell.
Alright, we can sell all of the stuff we don't want. And park the stuff we might want on another character, or perhaps even this character later. There. Don't think there's a sell-all, which would be nice because most of the time that's all I'm doing. I'm going to AFK for a sec. I need to refill my coffee cup. I'll be right back. I'm back. In black. But then I always wear black. I've been asked a time or two about why I'm always dressed in black. It's simple. Black doesn't really stain unless you go out of your way. It goes with everything. And of course, accessorizing is so important to me. And also, if I choose not to shower for a day, or perhaps 2, or 20, I can wear the exact same thing, and it just looks like I'm wearing another black t-shirt. It's genius. So if one of you guys turned out to be, oh, I don't know, a smart ass, ask why I'm always wearing the same thing. You wouldn't be commenting on, hey, I'm wearing that same shirt again, even if I'm wearing the same shirt again. It's genius, I tell you, genius. Not that any of you would be so impolite as to imply that I hadn't showered for a month. Alright, we come over here. This summons up the big bad thing. Which doesn't last very long because I'm now starting to do tasty bits of damage. Back to the cultist camp. All right, we were scattered all over for this. Where after pestilence were we going? Pestilence up to 3. All right. Global damage over time. That makes sense. Anything here? Increased spell damage. Int and cast speed. Cold damage doesn't matter. Poison and cold resist. Necrotic and a lot of elemental resistance, I think, for that is probably pretty good along with the extra meat puppet pet we get. Belt. Ward gained on potion use. Increased fire damage. Health regen. Poison resist. 3 potion slots. More mana. Okay. I'm sold on that. And not sold on that. Alright. We talked to this guy. Hi, guy. They've all headed to the ritual site. Well, a cultist ritual. I'm sure this is fine. It's like an old-fashioned revival meeting. Everyone's getting together, just having a good time. Getting in touch with their spiritual side. Not at all anything pernicious or creepy or anything like that. These are good, solid citizens. I feel sure of it. You have both relics? What are you going to do with them? Now observe, the souls trapped in the phylactery are scared of us, scared of the oblivion in the void. See how they strain, reaching for the symbol of hope? And we free them? For the final pieces, the void scours that hope from the world. Our bodies will be used as sacrifice that we may become one. Damn it. Lots of dots. Just keep dotting him away, and I'm gonna let him just die slowly. Big ugly thing didn't drop much. Uncivil. We had just moved to Stygian Current. Are we putting more into Stygian Current? We are putting 2 more into Stygian Current. Basically, what this build is going to do is it's going to build a lot of stacks of Ignite and Damned on critters, and when you get enough of them, they all get hit with Witchfire. And so Witchfire is kind of the end game in this case. This way first, I think. We gotta go back in time. Definitely like the changed visuals for that. The transitions. Much better. Much better.
Will not take me.
We want to grab this for sure. Shards. I sharded myself. Go back this way. Although I don't think it matters. We don't want to miss any shards. Might need those later. Oh, he's back. And hit quite hard. Cuddly purple dog, what the hell? Oh, that's the creature from the ancient past. It's a cuddly purple dog. It looks really cuddly, don't you think? Gulp. It is purple. I suppose some might hold that it has some superficial resemblance to a dog. I don't think I would go with that. And the cuddly is particularly questionable. That one came back from the dead again. Always feels like cheating when they come back from the dead. Big old dragon thing. Get out of its range. Ding. 23. Ooh, additional points all over the place. Abrupt Chaos is what we just got for Chaos Bolts, and from that it's down 2 for Doom's Vindication? Doom's Vindication! Victor Von Doom? Maybe not. We just gotten 2 in Pestilence. 2 in Pestilence. We need to go to 3 in Pestilence, and after that, to the northeast. All right, there's all 3 in Pestilence. We are as pestilent as we can be. Glyph of Despair. Our first glyph for sealing affixes. Not something we want to use at low level. Pardon me. As it is quite powerful, but not that frequent a drop. So. If you're not aware of what sealing an affix is, basically you're limited to the number of things that your items can do. Normal items, it's going to be 4, 2 prefixes, 2 suffixes. But you can also, if you use one of these items and get a little bit lucky, it will seal the affix. Basically meaning that it opens up whatever slot that was in, prefix or suffix, to have another affix added. So 5 affixes was the most you could have. Now there's a mechanic in place for a 6th. Very specific and powerful tier 8 affix. As part of the new seasonal mechanic. It seems like a really cool addition. We've got a Harbinger coming up. We no longer have the purple doggy. We have the Eye of Roger as our temporary pet. All right, we had... This one's got an increased cast speed, which is good. This has got a chance to shred armor on hit. Both of those were added affixes. This one's got a 50% increased critical strike chance as a sealed affix. And this has got fizz resist. I don't see any particular reason to empower them any further. Might be a little better, but I'm not feeling convinced right now of my overwhelming power level. Almost. He almost got me. But in this case, almost was not enough. Loser. Jerk. I feel better, because he's a loser jerk. I am missing the ward I had from my previous offhand, that's for sure. But we do get the additional meat tank of another pet. used a couple potions. You want to make sure to refill that potion quotient. As running out of healies at an inconvenient time could be quite inconvenient. Stop coming back from the dead. That's my trick. I'll end my pets. Get to the chopper. Cultist chopper. The Courtyard by Marriott. Somebody was winding up to take a big whammy at me. I would not have appreciated getting whammied.
Greetings.
Ooh, more idle slots. Very nice.
Do not dwell on the regrets. May a terror smile upon you. Farewell.
Right, let's see if we've got anything worthwhile. Spell damage, cold damage now. Yeah. 13 spell damage, fire damage, physical damage. Alright, we definitely keeping those two. And that. And probably that. And it looks like the rest. Ooh, that's pretty good. Fire damage, damage over time. Let's see, this is 407. This might be lower, but actually more. 402. Increased damage over time, I think, makes it worth it. So, got that. We'll sell the rest of this. Oops.
Yes.
And these go in here, which is my generalized holding space. A ritual stake. I grabbed that for a reason. I did want to check and see. Maybe we can get another improvement.
Follow your feet.
If we use another one of our runes of discovery, we just added the rune of removal. Currently, that's a big ask, because that is tier 2 stuff. I don't think we even have a reasonable chance of that. So we'll just drop it. Of getting better tiers, because they're all going to be tier 1s, so we're definitely not getting better tiers. I don't think we can get particularly better affixes. All right, back to the Lesser Refuge. Oh, and now I have an immortal ear. The Abandoned Tunnel. Oh, my friends. They want to play. Getting close to our next level. And that's what this stuff is all about. Leveling and fat loot. And blasting. ARPG players, we all want to blast. That was what PoE 2 was missing in very large amount. Was the ability to just blast. As if they had forgotten the reason they started playing ARPGs to begin with. There's that level I was just talking about. We want to kill shitloads of mobs, generate, and perhaps filter shitloads of loot. We just want to blast. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a place for a more deliberate style of play. I think No Rest for the Wicked shows that that can be a very good game. Not necessarily to my taste, because I don't think I'm a good enough technical player to play No Rest. But it is also one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. Visual style is amazing. We're a little bit low on mana. Can't have that. We're headed for the Temple of Atera. Powerful. Interesting thing, though, as much as we all love to blast in our ARPGs, the original game design for the very first Diablo was turn-based. So, while they were working on it, At some point, people started suggesting maybe they should try it as sort of like a real-time. David Brevik, in charge, kept poo-pooing me. Till finally he decided he just wanted to shut them all up. So he did some code crunching to turn it in from a turn-based to a real-time base. And basically he said the minute he played it, he went, okay, yeah, I was wrong. This is way better. And this, boys and girls, is why collaboration matters. Especially in something like game design. Okay, that's our first 10 points. Next up, we're going Ward of Malevolence? I'm not actually sure where we're going. Did that get saved? I don't. It did. Okay. I'm not sure where we're going next, actually. Truth be told, I'm not positive. Occultist's Mind, at least for some of it. 5 of it. And then into Ward of Malevolence. Got it. We've got another point here. I think we just put 2 into Stygian Current. Moving on from there. No, 1 more in Stygian Current. And then the 7th point in Spirit Plague. 2 in Rotten to the Core. Who doesn't like that? More damage. More damage is a multiplier. Increased damage is not. So after you get a certain amount of increased damage, more multipliers are way better. Because they're multipliers instead of just additive. That's kind of one of the big bases out of Path of Exile's gameplay. Took me a couple of years to understand that there was a difference between increased and more. The simplest example would be... Ooh. If you have 20% increased, that's a 20% increase in damage. If you have another 20% increased, that's a total of 40% increased damage. However, if you have 20% increased, 20%, and then 20% more, instead of just adding 20%, it's multiplied, and that takes you to 144%. Not a big difference, 144 versus 40, but the more the numbers go up, the bigger the more is. So normally a more multiplier is going to be a smaller percentage because it's a multiplier. But the further you are in the game, the more it's worth it. Ow! That guy's attack sucks. Chaos Bolts, where are we at? We are at 7 to 8 in the Chaos Bolts. I think we're back down to Contemned Chaos now. Is that correct? No, it is not. 1 to 1. 1, Doom's Vindication, and then 1 there to Devour the Damned. Ew. First of all, I just don't figure that the Damned are particularly tasty. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever tasted the Damned. Over here. Chest of goodies. Oh, boots of life. Gotta check those. My life numbers are not strong right now. Open the tome. Flip, 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 flip. Quest complete. We have to return. Investigate the ruined building. Did I not just do that? I thought I did. Back home we go. Well, home. Home is where the heart is, and this is the council chambers, and that's not the same thing. I could lie and tell them that they wanted to be called the lesser. They didn't want to be called the lesser refuge. They wanted to be called the refuge, or I can tell them Rat City. If I was feeling abusive. Was a cultist's mind, the next 5 points. That make me more smart. Huh? And then when we get to 5 points in it, we get additional mana for all the points in our intelligence total.
Farewell.
Let's see. Spell crit, elemental damage, no. Lightning damage, no. Cast speed, mana, no. Nope. Nope. Ooh, int, spell damage. Block and fire. Mana regen, fizz, poison resistance, and health. Fizz damage, health regen, lightning damage. I think. Yeah. That one is replaced because it was replaceable. Cast spell damage. I think, yeah, the fire and damage over time. Damage over time is now a big chunk already of what we're doing. In the long term, it is maybe the biggest chunk. And we want to be big and chunky. A chance to gain ward on kill with Hungering Souls. Not using Hungering Souls. And Riverbend Grasp. Throwing damage. You know, I'm just not doing any throwing damage. So far, the uniques have been disappointing. I mean, for a while, we're still using that one as having an extra meat shield is good.
Yes.
And the elemental resists. Quite good. I mean, it's all of our cold resist. Our fire is good. Our lightning is okay. Fizz is low. Poison is good. Necrotic is stupid. And void. Somebody else has got one of the bee summoning items because he's got a shitload of bees around.
Follow your feet.
All right, we need to find the Temple of Itera. There, my boys. Yes, I know you wish to learn. It's cool. People need to have a more positive attitude towards education. So I find your wish to learn heartening. Those void fused earth jerks hit really hard. He's staying dead. A lot of those guys have been getting up after I kill them once. Kind of rude. Void centipede. Just doesn't sound pleasant, you know? I hate to be judgmental instead of just mental. Chest. Few goodies. Chest. Few goodies. Shrine. Many goodies. That's another level for me. He's still around? Why is he not dead? Okay, he's dead now. There's somebody there. That's somebody, not somebody. Although there was also somebody there. Don't worry, they're just somebody that I used to know. Nope, just a goodies. Itchy nose in the middle of a fight. Never optimal. The big jerk coming up behind me because my two mobs are both kind of big jerks. Physically, I mean, they're not jerks. They're my friends. My very good, sweet, loving, devoted, friendly friends. Couple of idols. And a couple of Andinals or Andinized poniards. Kind of odd. There are a few places where there's a guaranteed drop like those two. Not sure if that's something, a mechanic that they're just not following up on, or just have chosen to not really do anything else with it. But it doesn't see a lot of other play. He's coming back, isn't he? He is. Aha! I knew he was coming back this time. I knew it. I knew it! Well, that's a big statue. Only it's not a statue. See how close he is to freaking dying. That's how close. I've never seen him be that big before. That's a very strange little rendering bug. Oh, he's gone. He was briefly bugged. But now he's bugged out. You've got, like, anything would help there. Void in particular would help because everything here has void attacks. Let's see. No. A little necrotic resistance? Sure, I only have 175%. I'm sure I'll need more. Ward per second makes that a possible keeper. That's 15 health. He's got more health. We're going with that right now. Right now. Damage over time. No, we're sticking with that for now. Having that second big, beefy body around is pretty good. I'm not going to say no. Since I have a big, beefy body myself, I'm not going to say no to him just because he's got a big body. That would be hypocritical of me. The Temple of Eterra awaits.
This place once held so many secrets, so much power. It could have been used for greatness. Now look at what it has been reduced to.
This place has seen such sorrow.
Shrine of Divinity. Meteors are falling all around me. As is appropriate. Oh, well, we're going elsewhere in time. Gotta go back in time. Oh, we got a loot lizard first. Sorry. He's gotta go. He did not last long. Going back in time? For only, I guess, the second time, right? I think. Oh, it summons the mob. Oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. I mean, I did see that happen to some degree. I just wasn't expecting it yet. It's only the second time I've successfully opened one of those up. Okay, we got bones. And a primordial petal. Can be traded to Scarven Bloodhorn for powerful items such as primordial unique items and runes of evolution. Okay. I'm down with that. So I guess the hunt starts when you first go to the area back in time and you pick what the first buff that the critter you're fighting is going to get. I don't remember what I chose. I don't think I chose based on the buff the critter was going to get, but based on the loot it was going to eventually drop with the boots. As glyphs did not seem particularly interesting, and the other was like melee weapons. Not as interesting. Pardon me, I realize I'm a little muttery tonight. Let me move my mic a little closer. Aha, now you can't ignore me. Well, yeah, actually, you probably should. If you were wise. Oh, would you? Guys, just cut it out. I mean, come on, seriously. What's your boggle? That's an old movie reference. Tell you, those dots start stacking up. He dropped a unique ring. Oh, very nice. I approve of this message. It's a Weaver's Will item, and they are cool. It has only 6 Weaver's Will, which is low. Increases health and mana. Mana spent is gained as ward, and ward gained on hit per 10 missing mana if your current ward is lower than your missing health. But the 6 is the interesting numbers. It's going to get random affixes, anywhere between, I think, 1 to 4. And it will give you an affix, and maybe it'll bump that affix or get another affix, and so on, until a total of 6 affix points have been spent. We'll set that. Oh, that's ward. That one's got ward. More ward would be good. We lose int and spell damage for the defense provided by ward. Let's try it. Weaver's Will items is a mechanic I really like in the game. It's a fun mechanic. It's not always rewarding, but it's fun. It's, well, I mean, it's kind of a gamble, so. A lot of us gamers, we do like a gamba mechanic. We like them so much, we don't call them gambles, we call them gambas. Let's head back to the council chambers one more time. Okay, we do not have any points unspent, but we do have a couple of skill points. First up is Spirit Plague point 8. Was it more rotten to the core, I'm going to guess? Spirit Plague, rotten to the core, to 2. And Chthonic Fissure from 8 to 9. I think we just put a 3rd point into Stygian Current. Yep. 2nd point in Damned Waters. Damned stacks. Excellent. Eventually what we want is lots of Ignite and Damned stacks on critters, as when they get enough stacks, they are afflicted with Witchfire. And you might ask, which fire is that? And I'd say exactly. Cold and fire. Cast speed and health. I think that's probably worth more than the fire. Ooh, spell damage and fire. Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, no. That's a phrase I despise and yet one I use very frequently indeed.
Yes.
Look at that, 22,000 gold. Ha ha ha. My wealth is, it's wealthy.
Follow your feet.
Examine the bridges to the lowest level, back to the Temple of Itera. They made this much easier. You used to have to get both of the bridge keystones taken care of. Now it's just one. It takes a sec for the pets to awaken. We need to come down here, and they tell us, oh no, we need a keystone to open the thingy. Yep. One of the two. Used to be both of them, which was kind of annoying. Not a big deal, you know. Level 26. That thing has a really hard hitting melee attack. But I'd prefer to avoid. Spooters from the sky. I am not an arachnophobe, but when they surprise me, they do frighten me. Now, once I know there's a spider that's living up in the corner of my bathroom, I'm cool with it. Anything it would like to eat that comes flying or crawling through, it is more than welcome to enjoy a delicious savory meal. But if I don't know it's there and it has descended upon, let's say, a web, out of nowhere, in front of me, there will come a high-pitched shriek and probably a dead spider. The lesson here being, of course, don't startle lens. We lost our big boy somewhere. Ah, Weaver's added an affix. Let's check and see what we're getting. Well, we're almost to the point where we're going to take a brief trip back in time. We can check it then. Unless, of course, we forget, which is likely. Gotta admit, that's pretty likely. Those are the kind of things I forget. The things I say, I need to remember to do this, and then I forget. But in this case, I will remember. It has gotten +1 int. Int is an excellent affix. That's the primary affix for this class. If it wanted to just dump all of the other points into giving me a tier 6 int roll, that would be good. I would be fine with that. Another point in occultist mind, more intelligence for me. I do like being smarter. And Chaos Bolts at 9. I think we just finished off Doom's Vindication. So I think we're headed to one of these. Doom's Vindication. Yep, down to Devour the Damned. Just 1 point there. Health gained against cursed enemies and mana gain when I hit him with the Chaos Bolt. That will be good. Health drain, more or less. Back to the Ruined Temple. Actually, we don't want to do it that way. We want to do it wrong button, right button. We want to do it this way. We go back to the council chambers and then, because otherwise we have to run all the way back, which is not what we want to do. Ooh, poison resist. Poison resist is already pretty good. Let us check the stuff, sell the stuff.
Yes.
Fire damage, fire resist, poison resist. Yeah. Spell damage. Well, that's not bad. We will take a look at that one. Lightning damage, no. Melee, spell damage, 2. 22. That seems really good. That one we can now dismiss out of hand as not simply not being good enough. Cast speed, void, and lightning, no. Cast speed, ward gained on potion use. I so seldom use my potions. It never seems worth it to have that affix. Health regen and poison. Health and lightning. 59 armor, 20 mana. Probably the mana's better. Now, theoretically, we're doing 435. 533. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's higher than that other number was. I could be mistaken, but it's not likely. I need to AFK a sec. The new season so far is going pretty well. I haven't gotten a chance to engage too much with the new league mechanic, the predators across time kind of deal. But so far, so good. I need to AFK a sec. Nature is calling, and I like to answer that because at my age, wetting my pants is a very real possibility. I'll be right back. I have yet to wet myself, but the time is coming. And just like that, I'm back.
Follow your feet.
And now the Temple of Itera awaits. Pets, please. Thank you. So I have died twice. Once, the first time was to one of the captive exiled mages, and I was in a very, very tight spot fighting him, and I just didn't have enough room to move around, and he killed me. And the other death was getting one shot by a champion. I had very low life. I was at 300 life, and he hit me for 318 in one shot, and that was enough. So those are my two deaths. There have been a couple other close calls, as my character is pretty breakable at this point. Fragile, fungible. Why, yes, I will take a shrine. Oh, just gold. Fine. I'll accept being rich. And good looking, obviously. The Weaver's will has procced again. And I'll be just... Ooh, Glyph of Envy. Changing his item subtype to a different one with the same class requirements. Interesting. Oh, we do have the League mechanic coming up. What just dropped that I was interested in checking out? I don't remember now. My brain is just made out of cheese whiz. Okay, we are once again going to interact with the Torn Rift. Open a rift to confront a Rift Beast. So the first time we got this, we went back in time to some primeval era and fought our way through sort of a little mini dungeon. And we picked basically an affix to be applied to the monster and a loot that it would eventually drop. And the second time we hit it, a monster popped out and we fought it, and we got one of the currency items. So I expect that this is going to bring out another beast, but I don't know for sure. It brought out another beast. Oh, I don't want to be in what looked like green poo. Oh, I don't want to be in anything where I can't see what the hell's happening. That is just never going to end well. So far, this has been my single biggest problem, is getting into fights in enclosed places where I kind of can't see what the hell's happening. But we got it. All right. So we got a bunch of ancient bones, which is another one of the currencies. We got a primordial petal, which is exactly what we got previously. A key. Petal-like growth from a rift can be traded. Don't know what it opens. Greaves boots. More boots. But so far, that has been my biggest issue, is feeling kind of like I'm running in enclosed spaces an awful lot. Yeah, that's set full. All right. And, once again, they killed my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy. As I don't have enough hit points or defenses to really stand up to most of the mobs that are going to be dropping melee attacks on me, so I kind of need to be at ranged, but that's also an issue because it feels like I'm always in constrained areas. All right, I believe we're about to fight the end boss for the first section of the game. I like the new animations a lot. The old ones were not great. Emperor must die. Oh, hit another one of his breakpoints. Kill him quick! Get him! We got the slab. Welcome to the lab. See what's on the slab.
After eons alone, three again become one. On the precipice of a broken world, there is hope.
There was a dope? Wait,
The
don't call me a...
Epoch is
Oh, hope.
approached.
Never mind.
As the traveler left, their real journey began.
We're back at the very end of time. Spell damage? No. Spell? No. Cast and fire. That would take up both of our things. They added a new act? Yes. New act or chapter 10, I think. It takes place in the distant past. Dinosaurs and stuff. I don't know when I'll see it because normally I just finish out the base game to get all of the idle slots and extra spec points, which happens usually at the end of Hyboria. And then I go into monoliths. Elemental and necrotic damage, ignite and shock. It just doesn't have the flat damage numbers that I need. They can do better. They can be better. Exactly. It is the way, I think, for most of us who've played ARPGs to any length, optimal pathing to that sort of stuff makes sense. I'm not going to say we all do it, but a lot of us do it. Mana health. Health regen. We could add some int to this. It would be good. Not a big craft, but you know, they can't all be enormous crafts. Do we have int? Tell me we have a few int. Not that. That. Int, we have 3. That's a small number. But tier 3 and tier 2 health and tier 2, yeah, I actually think that's worth it. How many health do we got? We got 9. Okay, we need more, a higher level to be able to forge more, but that's an improvement. Big health. Big health. Health is really what I need right now. So that's a big improvement. That's an enormous improvement.
You may find a treasure, my friend.
So I don't know when I'll see the new content. Also, I'm not a fan of the maps that lead to Lagon. I know a lot of people absolutely hate Lagon. For whatever reason, I've never had much problem with Lagon. I mean, occasionally he'll, one-shot me or something. But generally, I do really well against him. I understand why people don't like the fight, but I generally don't have a problem with it. But the rest of those maps, the island maps, I hate them. Just absolutely hate them. We have 3 Weaver's Will left, which means we've gotten all 3 of the first 3 points to intelligence, which is about the best thing we could possibly hope for. So between these two, they both have 16% elemental resistances. So that's why our elemental resists are good, pretty good, okay. Our physical, still not great, which is why the physical things, they scarify me. They make me scared. So I'm not happy about the 2 deaths, but, you know, they happen.
I believe centuries
Hi, Gaspar.
seek out
Not to be confused with Gasper.
leader of the living
Being a Gasper is a very different thing from being Gaspar.
the rest will be up to
If you don't know what being a Gasper is, it's autoerotic asphyxia. Only 2? What a champ. One of them was a champ. He one-shotted me, 318 damage out of the 300 health I had. And the other was an exiled mage. In a very small area where I couldn't really move and dodge around. And yeah. So. While I was young and fragile. Whereas now I'm old and fragile in an entirely different group of ways. Hi, how you doing?
Yes?
And hi, how you doing? And another level. How very nice for me. We got anything we can drop on this? Do we have any of the what are they? The chaos ones? Discovery, removal, shattering. No, we don't have any of the sort of chaos ones that'll reroll an affix randomly. That's unfortunate. What do we have that we can put on as a suffix? Chance to ignite's not bad. How many of those do we have? Just one, it looks like. Okay, then we can throw a health on kill. Not great. Not a big deal, but hey, you know, might as well.
What do you want?
Before we head out, I'm going to take just a quick AFK again. Rinse out the coffee cup, grab some water, and continue blasting. All right, I'm back, and blasterization can recommence. Oh, not quite yet. All right, that is Occultist's Mind is now enabled, so we gain mana for every point of int we have, so we're less likely to run out of mana now. Exactly. Let's go. Our mana is now up to 156, so that added 29 to our mana pool. Okay. We also, that opened up a skill. What was it? That was Ghost Flame. I want to make a Ghost Flame build one of these days. It does look like fun. It's a channel movement skill. And basically, while it's going, you basically just slowly just move through all the mobs and they all melt. As you can tell, at 33,000 damage per second, where my Chaos Bolts are, let's say the 570 for the Chthonic Fissure per second. This is doing 6 times as much. This is a Witch Flame build. It is meant to stack Ignite and Damnation stacks on mobs, and that will cause Witch Flame to burst out. And that's a much bigger dot. That's a really big, I believe, non-stacking dot that will kill things in a hurry. So basically, it's a dot build, Ignite, Damnation, Witch Flame. It's not mine. For a new league, I want to use a build I know is going to work. Later on in a league, I'm willing to try something stupid on my own. I was sorely, sorely tempted to do what is supposedly like about the strongest build, or at least one of, which is Warpath Void Knight. Why do these things keep coming? Because Warpath is a game play style I enjoy historically. That's basically it's Cyclone or any of the spin to win. Pardon me. The spin to win options. And it's Void Knight. But the last two builds I did for League starts were both Void Knight builds. Ali's Auto Bomber, which, by the way, I can recommend. It's really freaking strong. Oh, we've got got to kill. There we go. Ooh, oh yes. Oh, a Rune of Ascendance. Now we're talking. A Scepter. I don't think that's for me. Yeah, so previously my first two builds each league were Ali's Auto Bomber, Void Knight, which was very, very strong. But I didn't want to play Void Knight again. And I'm an edgelord, so Warlock made sense. Not actually an edgelord. Oh, come on, where are they things keep coming from? Fine, we'll get back to that. I do wish that they had done what the PoE guys have done, which is adding a pause to play. I will give the PoE guys credit. They do seem to be paying attention. I don't know if you saw... I didn't see all of it, but I saw most of their presentation for their next league. Their first PoE 2.0 league, real league for it. And people have been calling it the league where we fixed our game. And it looks like there may be some truth to that. As it seems like they realize that the players that they kind of count on, which is sort of the old school players, PoE 1 players, they didn't like the game. They thought it was too slow, too frustrating, and they've done, it looks like, a lot of stuff to make it basically, sadly to some people no doubt, a lot more like PoE 1. So I'm sure there'll be some people who are not happy with that change, but everything seemed like a chore in PoE before. PoE 2, I should be clear. But, so it looks like they are learning a lot. They've got the auction house coming to freaking PoE 2, and then later on to PoE 1. All these years, man, all we wanted was an asynchronous, ability to go to somebody's hideout and trade with the trade NPC, and that's exactly what they're giving us. Finally. So I think there is evidence that the PoE devs are listening, as we have seen a number of additions that seem to indicate that, yeah, they are listening and have decided, there's enough competition now, we can't just sit on our butts and be confident that everyone's going to throw money at us every new league. If so, I will be pleased. I have an enormous amount of hours in PoE. I would like to see PoE 2 succeed. Another Weaver point. And we do have a Nemesis. Let's see what we have. Minion dodge. Okay, well, it was going great with intelligence. Minion dodge, not so much. All right, this nemesis is a new nemesis. Torch of the Pontifex. Shield is of no use. That's not impressive. That's not impressive. So, the Shield of the Pontifex. Summon Burning Skeleton for 10 seconds. You cremate enemies you kill, burning enemies around them. I'll try and empower. If it's tough, we will not empower a second time. The poison one, seemingly. Got him. He was not too tough. I think we will empower a second time. Trade made that way to sell more tabs and no one can convince you otherwise. I think, again, that they're concerned about losing out. Especially in 2, because the release of PoE 2 wasn't terrible. It was okay. They had some big problems, but it felt like their first big content patch was bad. That the players did not like it, and I think for the first time it kind of put a little scare into them that we can't just assume that it's going to work. I do have one tab, one of the old-fashioned tab for sales. I don't think I've ever used it, but once or twice. It was twice. I put something up. It sold for a lot, like 11 exalts, which was a lot then. But I had something else that I accidentally put in there, and someone wanted to buy it, and I felt guilty because I didn't, I didn't put a price on it. He wanted to know. I said, I tell you what, I didn't mean to put it there, but it's up there, so I just give it to you. And I just gave it to the guy. But the one time I sold the thing for like 11 exalt, my initial thought is I'm filthy rich. I can get whatever I want for my build. And then I never bought anything. I have never bought anything in the game until they brought in the currency exchange. And I think the currency exchange also played a really big part in them changing their mind. They saw how popular the currency exchange was. And I think that convinced them, maybe we have been looking at this the wrong way the whole time. That in fact, what we really want is to remove that friction, because that's not fun friction. Friction can be kind of fulfilling, if you feel like it's worth your time and it's not just busy work. But frankly, that's not what it felt like. Historically, it always felt like busy work. Played PoE since 2017. Never been rich when you bought the currency exchange finally. Yeah, it fixed so many problems for so many people. I think that kind of opened their eyes. That they went, okay, maybe an actual auction house is not something that would hurt the game. It might be an improvement. Game is infested with bots and fixers, absolutely. And this will murder the price fixers. Not physically murder, Twitch. I'm not saying anyone is actually going to die, except maybe some bots, in which case, cool. So I think what may have happened is they got a wake-up call with that last patch for PoE 2. and they took a good look in the mirror. Just wait until they give AI rights. Oh yes, that will jolly well fix everything. Welcome back. Ooh. Nemesis again. I really like the Nemesis system. That was a really nice addition the last patch had. I really like the Nemesis. As you get offered the option to upgrade a couple of items. You browse the items if there's nothing you want. You don't bother empowering. This one's got 40 melee physical now. Jeez, a flat 40 fizz. Now I want to build something around it. Minion dodge. Nothing added on that. Minion or increased melee. I don't think I even want to empower it a second time. I just want that. So, gimme. I used the wrong button. I don't want to click that by accident. Let me be a good lesson to you guys. Don't hit the wrong button, okay? Alright, we got him. Ooh, and we're going to either go back in time or get attacked by one of the primal mobs. Alright, we get the crest. We have... We got all 5. Where are we next? Ward of Malevolence, I think. Let me double check. Don't want to screw it up. I think Ward of Malevolence is next. 3 points in Ward of Malevolence. We also have Rift, or Fissure, sorry. Chthonic Fissure. I think we just finished Stygian Current. I think we were putting 3 in there. Second point down in Damned Waters. I think we grabbed that one. And then a point in Chaotic Rupture. Rupture. There we go. And from 8 to 9 in Spirit Plague. 8 to 9. Plague Burst. Chance to spread on hitting inflicted enemy. Okay. I like the sounds of that. That sounds horrifying. In a good way. All right. Open the rift to travel. So we're going back to the ancient era now. So for those who haven't seen it, there was a mysterious rift. The first time we used it, we went to the ancient era, fought a whole bunch of mobs in a little instance dungeon. And sort of a boss mob at the end. And we put an affix onto the time-traveling empowered critters. Since then, the last 2 times we opened the rift, the critter came out and fought. So we're going to go now and go back, and then I think we get to choose another affix to add to the boss. And here's the NPC with whom we can buy and sell stuff. So I have 548 bones and 2 petals. So it looks like the petals. So these are used to be able to buy the other bits and pieces. So we have 2 petals. We could buy primordial horns. Oh, and the hearts cost extra. I see. Okay, these can buy the horns. These can buy the feathers. And these can buy the fangs. Okay, so these basically have a rotation value, right? So this can buy the horns. The horns can buy the feathers. And the fangs can buy, no, fangs are bought by the feathers. Basically, these rotate, and then you get a bunch of all of them and bones, and you get a crystallized heart. This is the Rune of Evolution, which is how you can get a tier 7 affix up to tier 8, which apparently is a huge jump. The other stuff, we ain't got the bones for. We got 548 bones, all of these things, various uniques. That's a spear, body armor. I like the visuals on a lot of these. Butcher's crown. I haven't really browsed through these. Let's see. So that's a two-handed staff. Attunement skills. Attunement skills. Fire and physical skills. Dem bones, dem bones, dem dry bones. Stats on your non-unique idols have increased effect. So that item, you can only have one primordial item. And it can either be one of the uniques, or it can be one that you've elevated to a tier 8. Tyrant's Skull. Attributes, minion skills. That's the one that summons a Tyrannosaur minion. People have been saying, I've seen a lot of people saying that they want the Tyrannosaur pet. I can't say I blame them. I was a child once. I would have always wanted a Tyrannosaur pet.
We have once again cornered a rift by crafting with my influence. I claim the living
All right, here we go in.
for our next hunt.
And hope not to die. These fights were non-trivial. But on the other hand, I've got more stuff now. I'm cooler. And we got some bones. We get bones from just as random drops from these mobs. The Weaver has improved again on that ring. We only had 6 Weaver on it, so... More minion dodge rating. We've got 1 to go and the item is finished. We started with 3 going into intelligence, and that was really good. I was happy with that start. Minion dodge, not so much. Oh, that's lots of mobs. Magma Belchers. Ooh. Ancient bones. They do seem to be dry. Oh, didn't have a chest last time. Oh my. Well, we want all of these.
Beauty.
I didn't go through the entire, dungeon, so to speak, previously. So I was wondering if there were any chests or anything, and I just didn't find them if there were. I will have to be more exploratory in the future. Yeah, this is the boss area with the Rift Beast. We got another primordial petal. And now... Okay. Primordial Fang gives it an additional head that breathes frost. It'll drop runes. An additional head that breathes fire. More rare boots. Summons enraged bees. And that's about all of these. Oh, we can end lineage as well if we don't want to keep evolving it. I see. So this is the lineage it currently has. I guess we can do it 4 times. Grows flowering vines from its shoulders that release poison pods was the first one I gave it. Not sure how I feel about the bees. Sure, we'll go with the firehead. That's a firehead, not a forehead.
A fine choice of egg.
We picked up another 300 or so body parts. Ah, okay, so you can get bags. Oh, like a bag of uniques. Interesting. Bag of glyphs, uniques, amber. Amber is from last league. I have not run into any of last league's mechanic yet. Two maximum companions. That seems impressive. You were saying that you were thinking about going shaman. If you go shaman and you're going companions, 2 maximum seems like that could be really fucking strong.
These parts will not go to waste.
And we're back. What were we doing here? I don't remember. That's at the end of time. Honest to God, I have no idea what I was doing. Oh, that's right. We were in the Imperial School at Wellrun, and now we need to go back because we got the sigil to open the door. Because the smart-ass guy taunts us. They changed that. You used to have to manually do the time traveling. I guess that was a bit much for some people. Humpsk is the guy who's running away, shrieking like a little girly man. I don't actually know that he was shrieking. All right. Do we have a new nemesis? This is, we do. Irun's Wisdom. Damage over time. Ward on potion use. That just doesn't float my boat. One on Spirit Plague. It might be. We'll try an Empower on that. Oh, this is the one I don't like. The ice guy sucks. Can we kill him quickly, please? Yeah, I don't think I'll be empowering a second time. The ice guy is bad news. He is really unpleasant. Especially in sort of an enclosed space where you don't have room to move because his attacks, he drops these big rotating discs of ice that hit really hard and are freaking enormous. That's the last of the Weaver improvements. Intelligence. So 4 of the 6 points went into intelligence. So we're in it's a tier 4 int, tier 2 minion dodge. The int is very nice. I like smartness. We've got a shrine over here. To buff us all up. Ow. Kalis, the demented scholar. Not anymore. I have shut down the device. I'm kind of a hero, you know? It's a burden. Once again, our bone golem croaked. It's so hard to keep good help. Back to the outcast camp. All right, 9 to 10. Not sure where we're going from here. 9 to 10 in Chaos Boltiness, I think it was. 9 is there. Now we go to Damnation. All right, we drop off that. And that. Isidora's Tomb Binding. Cast speed, armor, increased necrotic damage if you've been hit recently. Okay. Sure. Attunement and int dodge. Not doing much in the way of blocking. Except with my head. I have got a block head. Int armor. Ooh, minion dodge. More minion dodge. Outstanding. I'm totally not being sarcastic. What do you mean? He's being sarcastic. Necrotic, no. Not excited by any of those. Search well run. Yeah, now we gotta go back to there. Huh? Right? Yep, back to there. Back to a well run. We're searching for, like, the mage dude. Not the dude, because the dude has been here in chat, but the mage dude. Not to be confused, you know. And I'm sure I have confused everyone, probably including me. Those bone sculptors are one of my least favorite mobs in the game. They have so many hits, and they keep summoning additional friends. Despite the fact that they're not friendly. They don't deserve to have friends. We hates them, Precious. We hates them forever. This way, I think. Yeah, the mage is up here. Again, in an enclosed space.
Yes?
All right, we've got Alric's ring.
With you.
Bone sculptors. They're just so annoying. Generally speaking, I'm not a fan of mobs that summon more mobs. Sorry about that. They just annoy me. Pardon me again. We'll just hit him with all of the dots in the world. Out we go. I figure I'll go for maybe another half an hour. And then call it an evening. Because if I called it a potato, that wouldn't make any sense at all. I have a beetle buddy. I will call him Ringo. You know, I'm old enough to remember the Beatles. And phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust. That's an old guy music reference too. Mm, 20 minutes, maybe. Don't want to go too late. I need my beauty sleep after all. And boy, do I need beauty sleep. I think we can all agree on that. Mana has not been particularly an issue, which is welcome. Level 29. The Risen Lake. I'm not nuts about getting the pop-up right in the middle of the screen. Okay, Spirit Plague, 9 to 10. Spirit Plague, 9 to 10. 2 points in Plague Burst. Second point there, and then we'll be going to Putrid Recovery. Can't beat the skill names on Warlock. There used to be a chest right here. They've done away with the free chest. We was robbed. And there's a dead end. I suppose there's a chest over here to make up for it. Bastards. They stole my chest. That was my favorite chest in the game. He's lying. put our pets back on guard, I think. That's one of the new quality of life dealios. Is there is a setting for pets to either be defensive or aggressive, but that's not what they call it. Call it guard, which is the little shield icon you see in the upper left, and hitting the 2 button will swap it into being assassinate mode. Why it's not aggressive and defensive, I don't know, but it's guard and assassinate. Mine is not the reason why. Mine is just doing murder. I bet you weren't expecting an Alfred Lord Tennyson reference in your stream this evening. A little bit of Charge of the Light Brigade. By the way, most people are familiar with the fact that there is a poem entitled Charge of the Light Brigade. Most people are not aware that there is another one entitled Charge of the Heavy Brigade, and yes, that's actually a thing. Now, what makes him historically interesting is Charge of the Light Brigade is about the charge of the Light Brigade at the Battle of Balaclava, which is historically kind of a disaster. In essence, what happened is the Light Brigade was told to charge, and the commander asked, charge which enemy? And the messenger sarcastically pointed at the end of the Valley of Death, as the poem calls it, which was a valley with Russian artillery on basically either side and at the end. And so they charged and were beaten back with heavy losses. About a third, I think, of their number were killed. Like 250 out of 750, something. And this poem was a success, even though the battle was not. And but it kind of did not paint the British military in a particularly positive light. And the government asked if Alfred Lord Tennyson might come up with something a bit more positive, and so he wrote a second poem about the charge of the Light Brigade, sorry, the Heavy Brigade, which was militarily a success. The poem, not as much of a success. Quest completed. Glyph of Envy. All kinds of glyphs and goodies. I don't think it's actually this way. I think it's the other way. And this has been your history lesson for the day. So not only do we have Alfred Lord Tennyson, but we have military history regarding the Battle of Balaclava. I think it's only 3 to like Word of Malevolence. Is that correct? It is 3 into Ward of Malevolence, and then 3 into Imperishable. So next we go up to here for 3 points. We get 3 points to open up this, and we want 3 points. So we get additional Ward Decay threshold for 2% of necrotic resistance, and we're currently at like 175, so that's going to be like 80 Ward Decay threshold which is a lot. We will return to our previous location in time. Well, we'll accept the invitation to this shrine, take whatever goodies it has for us, and we'll now continue on our way. That thumping is what the shrine gave us. It's one of the offensive shrines. Dishes out damage to things around us. You'll note there are no things around us, hence it's not doing us much good at present. Something froze my golem. We can't have that. They've lowered the drawbridge. Hi, guys. Chest of goodies. Couple of shards, some gold. I won't say no. It would be rude to say no. It's a present. You don't say no to a present. You say thank you very much. Witch Hat of Purity. Not terrible. Take a look at it later. The Seer, or Prophetess, or whatever. Seer. And we're all under attack. Did I accidentally do it again? I think I did. I did accidentally summon a portal. Oops.
You are a skilled fighter.
Fat fingering.
It is no wonder that the
I'm very, very good at fat fingering things.
Ulrich is imprisoned there.
I have fat fingers.
Not too late. You must
Level 30. A little bit slow going. Early on, at least. Better now. Zombie hounds. don't think you have to throw them a bone because they just get one off the neighboring dog. That's an Ursine Enigma champion mob. Oops. We do not want to just stand there idly by. Oops. Nope. Do not like. God. They murdered my... Look how they massacred my boy. And almost massacred me, for that matter. Do not do that. Do not come back from the dead. It is rude. Unless I've invited you to come back from the dead. We've got a loot lizard. Where did he go? Where is he? There he is. All right, we got him. Got some nice glyphs and stuff. And we have nemesis. Let's go ahead and spend our skill points. God, would you stop coming like this? It's God. One of the things I hate about PoE is you can never futz around with anything because the mobs just keep coming, and now they're fixing it in PoE. Last Epoch, come on. 10 to 11 in Chthonic Fissure. 10 to 11 in Chthonic Fissure. 10. Okay, we're going all the way out on Chaotic Rupture. And on Chaos Bolts, 10 to 11. Going all the way to the top on Damnation. That's what I thought. All right. That way we get both Ignite and Damnation, and that combo, get enough stacks of those, and everything bursts into Witchfire. Nemesis, 14% increased health, tier 4. That's pretty good. This is what I was looking at, and it did not gain anything. I'm going to empower again. I may regret this. I do hate the ice. The dude with the ice is the worst. Alright, we got him. Not too terrible. If we've got enough space to move, he's not horrible. But boy, if you've got limited area of movement, he sucks and blows. Both. And like, not in a good way. Is this taking us to Thetima? The Fallen Tower. And then Thetima. We have got the League mechanic. It's going to be a summoning. It's going to open the rift, and it's going to bring out the beast. I'm going to move away a little bit. He's throwing out poison. And fire. Oh, that's right. He had an additional head that throws out fire. So he's got poison and fire. Oh, that was not good. Die, please. Thank you. All right. I got a petal and a fang. from him. And I'm going to go back to the Outcast camp. And I think I'm going to call it an evening. Almost 3 hours for the second session, a couple hours for the first. Busy day. I want to thank you guys for hanging out, as always. I appreciate it very, very much. I should be back tomorrow. I will probably have an early session and a late session again, but no promises. That's my hope, anyway. Early session, probably between noon and 1, if I have it. And regardless, definitely an evening session at the usual 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. Thank you very, very much for hanging out. Hopefully you'll see me soon. I hope the rest of your Thursday evening or possibly Friday morning goes great.